Going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dad Planet. We got another What Sold on eBay video. This is covering December 8th through the 14th, and I'm going to show you a jacket that I absolutely hate, a pair of shoes that I really love, and we're going to talk even more Halloween. Let's get into it.
Okay, a little bit slower week for the 8th through the 14th, but 2,300 in gross sales and then 1,400 in net sales. My average sales price per item down a lot, $47.36. And my selling cost a little bit higher. It is what it is. I always get slow during this time. You might see other sellers who are like killing it for whatever reason, and I don't change anything when it comes to the fourth quarter, especially the end of December. I keep things just the way they are because it all kind of irons itself out, if you will, and evens itself out as the year goes on. So I don't make any adjustments, and you know what, maybe I'll do that next year, but for now I always taper off and get really slow towards the end of December. So this is just a little bit of an example of that, but these 15 bolos are awesome, so let's get into it.
All right, so the first item is a Leapfrog Leap Pad Ultimate. The model is 6020. I actually found this at the bin, so let's call it $2, and these are back in demand. So if you find them, especially if they have the stylus attached to it, pick it up. This is a great bolo. So $49.99 is what I got for it. The buyer is $62.99 all in after shipping and after taxes. But yeah, even without the cord, I was able to test it when I got home. It powered up, it worked fine. So keep your eye out for these things. And I've seen now a few Leapfrog Leap Pad related items floating around in the bin. So if you're a bin shopper, look for them there for sure. But I think these will turn up in thrift store shelves as well. So keep your eye out for it. It's a great bolo. Okay, next one is a real bolo. Keep your eye out for these as well. So Bernard Kleiben is the artist here, best known for drawing funny cats. This is one of the shirts. It's a 2X size, so even better. I feel like the larger sizes do even better than the larges and the mediums, but keep your eye out for this artist. I'll put a picture of the signature a little bit closer up to the screen for you, but this was just a funny cat shirt, like sitting in a bird bath, and I got $25.49 for it. This was also a bin's find for me. So the buyer is $32.84 all in. Let's call this $1. I mean, it was probably just maybe slightly under that because it was very lightweight, even though it was one of the larger sizes. But Bernard Kleiben, keep your eye out for his artwork for sure, especially on shirts. Great bolo. All right, next one. Not all mugs are created equal. This one, however, from Disney Store Paris, a 3D like articulated Tigger mug. The thing you want to look for is like the tail with the handle. This is a bolo and it sells regularly between $20 and $30. So harder to find, obviously, because it's not sold here in the US, but 3D mug, $30 for that, and I paid $1.99 for it. So keep your eye out for this particular mug. It's so hard to like say what Disney Store mugs are going to make you a lot of money and which ones aren't. You just gotta kind of look each one up as you see them. But this one caught my eye, and I'm glad I flipped it. So buyer is $43.16 all in after shipping and tax. Octonauts. I'm still selling through all of this stuff. So this is the Octopod Gup Speeder. Comes with the little racers. There were 6 of them all together. I purchased a lot of 30 for $30 on Facebook Marketplace, and the stuff just continues to sell. It's amazing. Octonauts is a big time bolo. This one I got $60 for. I think I'm around probably $400 worth of sales, and I still have some stuff left to sell that hasn't sold in my active listings in as far as Octonauts goes, but $60, and then there's $76.28 all in. So it's hard to like price this out, just the $30 I paid for the lot. But keep your eye out for all things Octonauts, and we're going on 2 years now that this has been a bolo, so keep watching. Another jersey sale for me. This one is Mike Peterson jersey number 54 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It is Reebok on field. It's vintage, so it's over 20 years old, and I took an offer of $42.49 for this. I paid $6.99 at a thrift store, and the buyer is $60.24 all in. You guys have heard me say before, the vintage jerseys, and we're still in season. We still have a lot of the regular season left, couple games, so keep your eye out for jerseys. They are still selling. This will taper off a little bit when the season ends, but a good jersey is a good jersey, and especially ones that are older than 20 years. You know, you always got to look them up. Even if you don't know who the player is, do yourself that service and look them up, because there's still a lot of money in them. All right, this is a Baby Alive, My Real Baby from 2009. She's obviously blonde, has blue eyes. The face is soft, so when I'm looking for baby alive items, that's the first thing I notice. Is the face hard or is it soft? And then of course I look each one of them up because a lot of them are very, very hard to find lately, especially in good working condition. So I left video on my listing to indicate to the buyer that this worked properly. They've purchased it and already left positive feedback, but I did get full price for it, $119.99. The buyer is $138.85 all in, and this cost me $4.99 at a Goodwill. So it's Crockpot brand cast iron Dutch oven, 7-quart, pretty color. It did have a little bit of a chip on the lid, which was okay. And I took an offer of $35 for this. So the buyer is $62.62 all in after shipping and taxes. Had to go to California from Ohio, and I paid $7.99. It's actually sold quicker than I thought it would. Le Creuset, some of those other brands, it sell a little bit quicker, and I feel like Crockpot Artisan Cast Iron sells better brand new than it does pre-owned, but 35 bucks, somebody thought that was a good deal, even after they paid their shipping and tax. So this was a good one to pick up. Keep your eye out for it as well. Even with the flaw, it's still sold, so good sale. What can I say? Halloween sells year-round, January, February, December, it doesn't matter. So I obviously thought that this would sell in October, so I had it a couple months longer, but it is a Trendmaster Skull Tower from 1993. It lit up great, pretty cool looking. It's not like blow mold style, it's more of a foam, so it's a little bit softer and it's not as durable, but it's still sold. You know, it's still old, it still looks cool, and there's still obviously a huge market for it. There's a year-round market for Halloween. So $29.99 is what I got for this. $59.91 is what they paid after shipping and tax. This cost me $5.99 at a Goodwill. So I just actually sourced another blow mold from Halloween today that I'm going to end up listing probably for around maybe $50, $60. So I'm still sourcing Halloween. I suggest you guys do too, because it sells year round. This is a box set of folk music. So This Land Is Your Land. I went really late night, one night to a Goodwill, and they were actually still pushing carts out. I mean, this was at like 8 o'clock. Usually they stop, at least in my area, the stores that I frequent, they stop pushing carts out at around 6 or whenever the last cart pusher leaves. I don't know. But this one came out and it was priced at $4.99 and I scooped it up. So I took an offer. I had it listed a little bit higher than this, but I took an offer of $50 and the buyer is $57.50 all in after shipping and tax. For $5, I'll take this any day. It did take me a little while to sell, like maybe a couple of months, but I'm a list and forget kind of guy. So happy to take that $50. Okay, this is Ball de Moulin Rouge Fury. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It was a factory sealed DVD and I took an offer on this one also. I had this one also listed high, but somebody left me like this is a nostalgic moment for me. I remember being at this show and whatever, and I was like, I'm happy to give you an offer if it makes you happy. I'll take it. So I took an offer of $50. It only cost me $1.99 factory sealed. Now, if this was not factory sealed in the store, I don't know that I would have necessarily picked it up, but of course, because it was sealed, I did a double take and I'm glad I did. So $50. Buyer is $56.99 after shipping and tax. And again, for $2, no brainer. Keep your eye out for sealed Moulin Rouge related items. I don't know who Lauren Burgers is. I can't really tell you. I didn't do too much homework on it. I'm like, look at my phone, look at the data, make a decision and move on. So keep your eye out for this one in particular. Okay, I picked these up because they looked awesome. So Sanita, like clogs, they're like alligator croc style, red, burgundy color. They were in fantastic condition. The soles, all of the above. So a US women's size 9, and I took did I take an offer? I don't know, $35 might have been full price for them. I don't remember exactly. But the buyer is $46.35 all in. They cost me $4.39 at a thrift store. And there aren't a ton of comparable sales on this, but I mean, they were in such good condition and just so cool looking. And I'm like, you know, maybe this is going to the nurses and they're still busy in the world. So maybe there's like still increased interest in this kind of footwear for that type of demographic, and I could be wrong, I'm just guessing, but they were in such good condition that it was worth picking up. So you find similar in this style and size, area, and condition, grab them. All right, we got a foot pedal here, Husqvarna Viking foot pedal. This is a Bolo. This was separate from whatever Viking sewing machine that they had in store. I looked around to see if I could pair it up with a machine, but I couldn't. So it was just its standalone thing and there was no price on it. I said, price it for me. They slapped a $2.99 price tag on it, and I took it. But it is a Bolo for sure. So it's HVAB and it's type FR2, a thick foot pedal. It is in fantastic condition, and I got full price for this one, $35, and the buyer is $41.32 after shipping and tax. This actually went to an opera house in Michigan, if I remember correctly, which is weird because I never really pay attention to like where any of my items goes. I know that, movie sets and people pay attention to that stuff. I very rarely look, but I noticed that that is a location that it was going to. So, you know, maybe they're doing some work there. I don't really know, but it was a cool sale nonetheless. So keep your eye out for that foot pedal. All right, another major bolo alert. Anytime you see a bag that looks like this, grab it. So this is an Oakley kitchen sink backpack. Now, this is unique in that it almost looks like the face of the Predator. Like, this thing is a massive like pack. So the list to sell ratio is unbelievable. So tons of solds relative to a very small amount listed. Now, I had this listed for 60 bucks and I took an offer of 51. So the buyer is 68.53 all in. I found this at the bin, so let's call it $1.50, but one of the zippers had like a little piece missing and it was a little bit faded. So even though it was in fantastic physical condition on the interior, cosmetically it didn't look as awesome as I had hoped it would. And so I priced it along those lines. But I'm telling you, if you find one that's in this condition or better, I think you can get even more money than I asked for it. So this is like a $200 pack. That I think you could probably get $100 for pre-owned if it was in slightly better condition, or if it's in the same condition and you just asked. So I feel like maybe I underpriced this a little bit, but Oakley kitchen sink backpack, keep your eyes peeled for it. I found this at the bins. You will find this at thrift stores for sure. You might even see them on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, but I feel like they will know what the price is, so you're probably going to pay up a lot more on those two. Look for this in thrift stores before you check Marketplace and Craigslist, but huge bolo, keep your eye out for it. Okay, so this is an Envision Graphics Calypso Reef fish poster. Now, this thing was a monster to ship because the buyer asked me not to roll it up or fold it. They wanted it shipped as it was. So this took me about a year, maybe even more to sell. I found this at an estate sale with my oldest daughter about a year ago, and just, you know, list and forget, set it in my basement. And the buyer also, I believe, left me positive feedback and thanked me for that, renewing their memory of this that they had as a kid or something along those lines. I don't know. I was getting a lot of endearing messages this month, which is really, really nice, really fun to hear. It makes our job just that much more gratifying, I suppose. So I took 50 bucks for this one, and the buyer is $91.80 all after shipping and tax, because I think this went to Washington. So it was a little bit of a bear to ship because, again, they didn't want me to fold it up. So $5 for me, great deal. There aren't going to be very many comparables, if at all. So if there are some, I'll put some on the screen. But they wanted this one and they were happy in the condition that I sold it to them for. So I'll take the $50 all day long. They're happy, I'm happy. All right, so I hate this jacket. Here's why. I'm an Ohio State Buckeye graduate. I'm an Ohio State Buckeye fan. I put this jacket on when they played at Michigan, and Michigan just kicked our butts recently. So I took that thing off immediately and I sold it. I had it listed for $200 and I took an offer of $170. I never want that in my house ever again. It's bad luck. It's a bad omen. Shout out to you guys for restoring our faith in the rivalry Wolverines. But yeah, get that thing out of my house. $191.39 is what the buyer is all in after shipping and tax. I paid $25 for this on Marketplace. Now, really quickly, this is a satin jacket, but what you'll notice with satin jackets is sometimes they are more nylonish than they are satin. So this one didn't have like the absolute shine and sparkle that some satin jackets do. It still qualifies if you ask me. And of course, this buyer is going to be happy. Like, it's a Buckeye fan, and this was an awesome starter jacket. So I'm on the high end for asking price, I believe, which is okay for like a starter jacket of this age and the condition. It was in phenomenal condition, but don't be afraid if the satiny look isn't as satiny as some of the other jackets you might be looking up while you're doing comps or while you're listing, because to me, they all work the same. So just keep that in mind. 15 more bolos. I love them all, and I hope you do as well. Real quick, here's this lovely little creature that I was just talking about earlier. So what did I pay? $5.99, $6. This is Sun Hill. So a vintage Sun Hill. I think there are 7 pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns stacked together. I haven't tested the light, but that really doesn't matter. It's probably going to work. And oh, by the way, if you buy blow molds, you can still sell them for the price that you are checking comps on, even if they don't have these cords. These cords are really, really cheap to find on eBay, Amazon, although I suggest you go to eBay before Amazon because I hate Amazon. But with or without that, price would be the same. Like I said, I think I'm listed for maybe $60. We'll see what happens. 15 more in the can. Thank you so much for tuning in as always, and I hope everybody had a wonderful, happy, safe, healthy holiday. Brendan here, Dad Planet. Please leave me a like if you like what you saw or you learned something, and then of course, consider subscribing to the channel if you are not already subscribed. I appreciate each and every one of you. I am out of here. We'll see you in the next video.